Good evening. My name is Michelle Anderson. I'm the Vice Chair for the Building Standards Commission Board. This is the December 5th, 2024 meeting of the Building Standards Commission. I now call this meeting to order, and the time is 6:06. We're going to go to the room behind us here for a work session. The public is invited to join us and listen into the work session. There'll be no interaction, but you're welcome to go back there and listen if you would like. Yes, sir. Start tonight with a roll call of all members present. As your name is called, please respond with the notification of presence. Mark LaGrosse, the chairman, is not here. Casey Smith,
Present.
Kyle Rogers,
Present.
Greg Blahos,
Here. Present.
Dill Kim,
Present.
Sean Hester. And I am Vice Chair Michelle Anderson. The first order of business is to begin the work session as identified in item 2 of the agenda. I will turn the work session over to staff, Code Compliance Officer Desiree Vuhlman, to present the case, and Chief Building Official Stephen Schubert for any follow-up questions. Desiree, you may present the case.
Thank you. I'd like to take a moment to introduce some of the staff that's in the room. Steve Schubert, Bob Hager, our city attorney, Vonda, and our assistant director, Louis Rothfield, is running around somewhere. So tonight, this hearing concerns a neglected and substandard structure located at 407 Greenway Court in Coppell, Texas, which has remained unrepaired following a fire on May 28th of 2022. The structure violates the city of Coppell's ordinance under Article 15-14. So just a quick overview, the building is a 2-story structure. It's over 3,000 square feet, single-family residence built in 1993, situated in Waterside Estates neighborhood. The current owner is Keenan McCarty, who had purchased this property around October 11th of 2004. The fire caused an estimated $300,000 in property damage. So over the course of time since the fire, several permit applications were submitted to our building inspections department, but no significant work was done on the repairs. There was an initial gutting or basically the inside being brought to studs to prepare for a rebuild of the interior, but other than that, there hasn't been any significant work done. So over the course of time, the city has been engaging in communication with Mr. McCarty through emails, phone calls, meetings, and court hearings. And we did send out an official notice on August 23rd, 2024, ordering the repair or for the structure to be demolished with a compliance date of September 24 of 2024. So we did inspect the residence on October 9th, 2024 with Mr. McKeenan, and we did take pictures, which you'll see in the slideshow later on. He did communicate with us that he's having issues with getting his insurance claim money, that there was additional damage to the roof that he didn't know about until later on. So he is having some issues getting additional funds to make those repairs. So at this point, there hasn't been any further repairs done to the property. So we are going to be asking for an order for repair with conditions. And we'll set out a timeline during the presentation to give him kind of a guidance on to get the property repaired.
Does anyone have any questions for Desiree?
Is, Madam Chairman, did, the minutes, was there any additions or changes or corrections to the minutes that anybody has since we're in work session? If there are, we can kind of discuss those now, make the correction,
And
and
then,
make the motion to approve it, and then we correct them after the fact, before we ask you to sign.
does anyone have any corrections to the minutes from the prior meeting?
Unless anybody has anything else, we can go ahead and close the work session. And then if you want to go ahead and proceed into your regular meeting. So,
All right, let's close this work session and go ahead and, the time is 6:13.
and then you'll reconvene the meeting out there.
We'll
Do
reconvene.
you want to wait till 6:30, or you can go ahead immediately if you so choose?
I think we should go ahead immediately as opposed to waiting until 6:30.
Okay.
Okay, the time is 6:15 PM and the building, let me make note here. The Building Standards Commission is now reconvening into the regular session. We'll start with the citizens' appearance. Persons wishing to speak on any matter other than an item scheduled for a public hearing on the agenda must sign or register and list their residence address provided by the secretary on a table outside the meeting room. And such persons may be heard only at the citizens' appearance portion of a regular meeting or a special meeting, but this is a regular meeting. Each speaker must state his or her name and address of residence. Presentations by individuals during the citizens' appearance shall be limited to 3 minutes each. An individual speaker's time may be extended for an additional 3 minutes with the approval of a majority of the commission members present. There shall be a cumulative limit of 20 minutes allotted of any regular or special commission meeting. Those persons who signed up to speak at the citizens' appearance shall be called upon in the order in which they have signed the provided register. No personal attacks by any speaker shall be made against any member of the commission, individual, or group. Desiree, did you receive any written comments for citizens' appearance?
We did not.
Thank you. Since no comments were received, we will close the citizens' appearance and move on to item 4 of the agenda. Item 4 of the agenda is to consider approval of the April 11th, 2024 Building Standards Commission meeting minutes. Is there a motion? Is there a motion by the board?
So moved. A second.
And that's to approve, correct? You move to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay. The motion carries. Oh, take a vote. I'm sorry.
You have to take a vote.
All those moving to approve the minutes?
Aye.
Yay.
Aye.
Say yay.
Yes.
All those opposed? Okay, now. The motion is approved. The minutes are. Item 6 on the agenda is the Greenway Court Building Standards. It's to determine whether the building or structure at 407 Greenway Court, Waterside Estates 2 Block A Lot 15 complies with the standards outlined in Article 15-14, Chapter 15 of the City of Coppell Code of Ordinance and remedies suggested here within. Desiree, you will please present the case.
And Madam Chairman, if you would, go ahead and open up the public hearing, and then Desiree can make her presentation, and then we'll see who may have signed up and
Okay.
ask the property owner if
Okay.
he or she is present, that they can also speak. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a public hearing. Is there anybody here who would like to be sworn in to provide testimony?
Whoever's going to speak, including Desiree, should be sworn in.
Need to be sworn in. I don't have.
I can recite it for you. You promise? So whoever's going to testify, stand up, or whoever wants to speak. That'd be the property owner if they're here, and then Mr. Roberts, is that right? And then Ms. Woolman. So do each of you, raise your right hand, do each of you promise or affirm that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Desiree, you may now present the case.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Desiree Villeman, and I'll be presenting the case regarding 407 Greenway Court. Tonight, we're here to discuss a case regarding a neglected fire-damaged property located at 407 Greenway Court. This is a matter that has persisted since 2022, and we aim to present the case details and seek your guidance on a path forward to get the property into compliance. So let's begin with an overview of the property in question, located at 407 Greenway Court. The spacious 2-story home spans over 3,000 square feet and is located in a well-maintained neighborhood. The property is part of the Lakes of Coppell Owners Association. Additionally, the structure was built in 1993 and the current property owner purchased the property in 2004. On May 28, 2022, the Coppell Fire Department responded to a structure fire at 407 Greenway Court. It took the fire department about 2 hours to contain the fire. During the fire department's assessment, they estimated that the structure took a property value loss of around $350,000. According to the Dallas County Appraisal District, the property market value has decreased since 2022, as shown in the table provided. Since the fire, several permit applications were submitted to the Building Inspections Department.
Since the fire, we received several permits. The property owner has submitted those permits, starting with the first request coming in June of 2022. These applications, however, have faced significant delays and complications, with some progress, although some progress was made in initial stages, such as application for interior demolition, and the lack of following through has continued to, so the structure has continued to be non-compliant. The permits issued have not been acted upon in a timely manner, thus resulting in the expired statuses. The repairs necessary to restore the property have not been completed, leaving the structure in its current substandard state. Over the last 2 years, the city staff has repeatedly contacted the property owner about various violations ranging from stagnant swimming pool to illegal roll-off dumpster, as shown in the table. City staff has gone above and beyond to work with Mr. McCarty on these various property violations. Due to the repairs at 407 Greenway Court becoming stagnant, city staff issued a notice to the property owner requesting that the structure be repaired or demolished by September 24th, 2024. Over the next couple of months after the notice was issued, city staff communicated and met with Mr. McCarty on several occasions to discuss a plan of action to reach compliance. During this communication, Mr. McCarty expressed that he was having difficulties with his insurance claim, thus delaying the repairs of the structure. While staff understands the challenges that Mr. McCarty faces, the extended delays have left the structure in its current substandard status. On November 18th, 2024, staff found the property was still in violation and the repairs had not moved forward. Therefore, we have filed the case with the Building Standards Commission. City staff conducted the required title search to locate all recorded property owners and lien holders associated with 407 Greenway Court. All the property owners and lien holders were notified of this hearing as outlined in the city ordinance. The title search revealed 2 mortgage liens and 7 involuntary liens attached to 407 Greenway Court. The involuntary liens amount to over $300,000. Over the last 2.5 years, city staff has inspected 407 Greenway repeatedly for numerous property maintenance violations. The table illustrates some of the violations found at 407 Greenway Court, ranging from stagnant swimming pool to a structure that is unfit for human occupancy due to the lack of repairs. The next series of slides will illustrate the current property conditions. The following series of photos were taken October 9th, 2024, during the inspection of 407 Greenway Court, in which the property owner was present for the inspection. The photo shows the front of the house, and there are several windows that are broken and boarded up. This photo was taken from the front door entrance. The structure has been stripped down to the studs and gutted, which is essentially removing everything inside, including drywall, flooring, and fixtures, therefore only leaving the bare structural framework, which allows for a complete rebuild from the inside out. These photos were taken from the first floor of the structure. The photo on the left illustrates plumbing fixtures missing and open sewer lines. The pictures on the right show a warped rear patio door and broken windows. These photos were taken on the first floor near the garage. These photos show rodent droppings in the interior of the structure. It appears that the rodents are entering the structure from the dryer vent that was missing the exterior dryer vent cover. Also, it appears that the rodents are nesting in between the drywall and the exterior wall. These photos show that the second floor has also been stripped down to the studs and gutted in a similar fashion to the first floor. The photo on the right shows several missing windows, including the balcony door window. These photos were taken on the second floor above the garage. The picture on the left shows damage to the roof sheathing, which is allowing rain to enter the structure and further damage the integrity of the structure, as shown in the picture on the right. The floor decking below the defect in the roof is starting to warp. These pictures were taken from the first floor looking up. The photo on the left shows plumbing pipes and plywood that were damaged by the fire. The pipes are deformed and the plywood is charred. The photo on the right shows additional roof sheathing that is damaged. These photos were taken from the rear yard and show a general view of the rear of the structure. These photos were taken from the rear patio looking up at the balcony. These photos show the damage and disrepair of the rear balcony decking. These photos were taken from the rear of the property. The photo on the left shows missing windows and a very damaged window frame as a result of the fire. The photo on the right shows that new plywood was recently installed on the structure's rear soffits. These photos show the overall condition of the rear yard. The owner has several rodent bait boxes placed around the property. The photo on the left shows the pool Mr. McCarty addressed before he addressed the stagnant swimming pool violation. The photo on the right shows the pool about a month or two after it was cleaned. Additionally, Mr. McCarty removed an old hot tub that was full of debris. The photo on the left is before and the photo on the right is after the hot tub was removed. These last photos show the general condition of the front of the structure. The photo on the left shows several windows missing and boarded up. The photo on the right shows a hole in the eaves in which rodents and pests can enter the structure. Since May of 2022, the structure at 407 Greenway Court has remained unrepaired. The prolonged inactivity has led to a loss of confidence that the necessary repairs will be completed in a timely manner. In light of the continued delays, the city is requesting an official order from this commission, directing the property owner Keenan McCarty to repair the structure at 407 Greenway Court in full compliance with the city codes. This includes obtaining the required permits, undergoing inspections as needed to ensure all repairs are completed according to the city's safety and building standards. To ensure that these repairs are done promptly, city staff proposes a detailed timeline for the necessary work. Within 30 days, we'd like to see the owner obtain the required roof and alteration permits, complete the roof repair to restore the structural integrity, bring the premises and exterior into compliance and maintain them. This includes the lawn and the pool. Then within 60 days, we'd like to see the interior remodeling work begin. Within 120 days, we'd like all repairs to be completed, including the roof interior work under the proper permits. Additionally, the inspections need to be completed and approved by the city. And furthermore, we would like to see the utilities restored to the property. Finally, staff requests a show cause hearing to be scheduled for February 6, 2025 to evaluate the progress and determine any further action required to ensure compliance with the order. This concludes my presentation to the commission. City staff looks forward to your guidance and decision on this matter. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have regarding this case.
Thank you. Does anyone on the commission have any questions for Desiree?
I guess I just have one question. I can find. Is that the last page? Right there. Is that a typical timeline that the city would enact in a similar situation?
We have in the past done similar timelines. In fact, I think this is a lot more lenient than normal. Typically, we only give 90 days to
Yeah.
comply.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a question, Desiree. There are timeframes that they are to obtain required permits. What's the time frame once they apply for a permit with the city? How quickly is it turned around?
If we're provided all the information that's required for the permit, typically it's 7 to 10 days. But I believe Steve Schubert will make sure that those permits get through pretty quickly because we want to see this property fixed. That's the end goal. So we will work with the owner to achieve that.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the commission?
Just on general background, on one of the previous slides, it had mentioned that, the notice that was placed there gave 30 days on property. If improvements weren't made, that this filing would proceed. Was there a measurable progress or just any progress was expected for that notice? Was there?
We were hoping to get a significant amount of progress, but there's been none.
Okay, but
Yeah.
none.
I mean, we would work with them.
Okay.
If they started doing work, we'd wait and see, as long as the work is moving forward.
Okay, we're just making sure on that because I know it set these proceedings kind of in motion. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions from the commission?
Desiree, I would ask the commission to accept her presentation as part of the record for this, so that it gets to be a part of the minutes. So,
Do I do that in a motion?
yeah, you can do that without motion.
Okay, I'd like to move that we accept Desiree's presentation as officially for the record, and that be reflected in the minutes for this meeting.
Thank you. It is a public hearing, so anyone else that has signed up and been sworn in, if you, I think that secretary is going to hand you, obviously, the property owner, if they're here, that they could come forward and offer their testimony to the board.
Okay, so now it's time to provide testimony. I have Rick Roberts from 411 Greenway Court. Are you present? Yes, yeah, and you are sworn in, so
We need you to come down.
we need you to,
Follow the homeowner first.
Sure, that's fine.
Let's let him go first.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's,
Answer all the questions.
I guess the homeowner's here, Mr. McCarty. Yeah,
yes,
so we
please.
can record what you're saying as
Okay.
part of the record for this
Okay.
proceeding. And if you would identify yourself by name so that we don't have any video recording, it's just audio, so.
Okay, Keenan McCarty.
And
Uh,
you're the owner of the property at 407, is that correct?
yeah, I'm the owner.
Okay.
Do you want?
What would you like to testify to?
Oh, I just want to testify to what happened and why is it, I'm kind of sorry that it's taken so long. I, after the fire, went to the insurance company, this and that, and made a claim, and the insurance company, I own a company in Chicago, so I kept on flying back and forth here, to meet with my adjuster. They had a rogue adjuster, and I was one of the 21 claims that they had. I guess the adjuster didn't do what he's supposed to do. And so for a year, I kind of flew back and forth to meet with the adjuster. And then after that, I had a contractor, but that general contractor tried to overcharge the insurance for the tear out. And I was waiting for the contractor that I normally use. And that contractor was on other jobs. He's now been the one working on the house. And we found out as we were going through, I guess, putting in the air conditioner, that the roof had a hole in it. But the insurance, unfortunately, insurance didn't put the roof on the claim. And so I've been going back and forth, and I've gotten a lawyer. And I've had like probably about 4 or 5 people, different roofers, climb up on the roof to uh, say that the roof was damaged by fire, and for the insurance company to pay for it. And that hasn't happened. So I guess I'm just gonna have to proceed and getting the roof fixed. And then after that, we got enough. I think we got enough money from insurance, less depreciation, probably to get that done. But then we need to, I guess, go back and I still need to sue the insurance company, and deal with the recoverable depreciation on the house. So I've been, it's just been a pretty. It would have got done a lot quicker, but this insurance company has kind of just it's been a horror story, as far as just trying to get money out of them. I haven't even got I think, adjusted a living expense, which is on my deck page for my insurance. I paid probably over $150,000 out of pocket which I'm gonna have to sue them for that, and also for the contents. It was probably over 800,000 contents. I haven't even got paid out on that, so that's something I'm still kind of dealing with. But I'm, sorry that it's taken so long. I'll get it done as quickly as I can. Get my roofer to come up there and get the roof done, and then get it completed. Because nobody wants, burnt house on their block. I get that. I respect that. So that's what I have. I don't know if there's any questions.
Quick question. You mentioned that the first one that was working on it tried to overcharge the insurance company or something, the
No, he
first
tried to.
contractor you were
Yeah, the
working
first
with?
contractor I had on a house, he tried to the tear out on the Xactimate was $35,000. He sent in a bill of $150,000. So I had to. I guess a lot of these contractors, I guess, try to get more money than what they're supposed to get, and then you got to wind up. I mean, when I went through a bad contractor, you're going to wind up getting rid of that person, and then getting. I mean, the contractor that I wanted to deal with it, he was on other houses.
Gotcha. You're just trying to piece together a timeline. So he put that in and then they denied it
He
before you moved
he
on.
put that in, then they denied the $150,000. Then he was like, "Well, I want $60,000." I said, "I'm not giving you $60,000. It's on an Xactimate for $35,000. That's what I'm going to pay you." So I'm not going to over. I mean, if I give you $150,000 and what I'm then that's, I mean, you're going into it doesn't make sense. You're just trying to get extra, and that extra $100,000 would be needed to put into the house.
Gotcha. Thanks.
And then with I think my neighbor, I was in California, and my next door neighbor, I guess, said that, which, the jacuzzi was a problem, swim pool was a problem. And as soon as I found that out, I, snatched the jacuzzi out and steam cleaned the, pool. So, like I said, as quickly as I can, get a roofer over here to put this roof on, I'm gonna do that, or have them file for a permit, and then after that, um, move forward and restore it. Because the goal is not for it to look like that. It's just a battle with insurance. And I think because, tornadoes in Florida or this and that, a lot of these insurance companies, they take your money, but to give you money is hard. So, but I'm willing to go to court and sit up and deal with it.
I had a question for you. Mr. McCarty, do you know, and if you don't know, that's fine, whether your insurance was insured for the replacement value of the home or insurance to cover the mortgage?
No, it's insurance for replacement value of the home, contents, and adjusted living expense.
Have they paid any of those costs?
Uh, yeah, they paid some, but they haven't paid everything they're supposed to pay.
How much did they pay?
We've gotten, uh, I think we've gotten sitting probably after 320, and that's sitting in an account with the lender. And
Yeah,
they're
okay.
supposed to pay an extra 20, I think extra 25,000 for the roof, and that didn't happen. And they were supposed to pay another 259,000 for content, and then another 139,000 for adjusted living expense, which they haven't paid.
And I apologize, it's kind of a personal question. Is the mortgage up to date?
Yeah.
Okay. Have they called you about the status of the house?
Who, the lender?
Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
he
they,
gave, after he got,
we sent them notice and they're not here, and so.
yeah, after the lender got notice, he called me about the status of the house. And I said, I'm gonna have to go to court. Um, I've not got paid what I was supposed to get paid as far as the roof. Um, they should have added that to the fire claim. And if I use that money to pay for the roof, then that's less money to for the house. Um, and that I was gonna call a lender and, have a lawyer call, I mean, not the insurance company, have a lawyer call the insurance company. And, it looks like the adjuster wants to go to court. But what I think is gonna happen is usually insurance companies, you get to court, and they mediated it out or whatever they got you, and then they just write a check because they don't want to go to court.
Yeah. Yeah, insurance companies don't do well at the courthouse. Because everyone pays for insurance and then they don't get paid.
Yeah, so,
Jurors don't like that.
right, so,
None of us like that.
so it's just been a ordeal. I mean, I never I mean, before this, I don't think I ever had any problems with my neighbors. I never was a bad neighbor. I never had any issues. It's just been pretty hard. My dog died in that situation. And, you know, but I think that, I can move forward on like getting this roof together and just deal with whatever I got to sue this insurance company for. And that's about it.
If during the proceedings, if that's kind of unfolding and there's pursuit of legal ramifications or suing or pending litigation, et cetera, does that impact or affect the timeline, or does that have to progress absent this?
It
'Cause-
could have an impact. That one of the things that Desiree asked for was that we get a status on February 6th. Because
Okay.
I want to make, since it's been almost 3 years. So we need to know that there's something going on. And I want to, and if there are things going on, then we need a copy of the lawsuit. We need, or something from a
Demonstrable
lawyer
progress.
that they're made a demand. And yeah, I want us to make sure, because neighbors have complained. They continue to complain. The homeowners association has complained, and it's gotten to the council members. And so we want to make sure that we're being responsive not only to Mr. McCarty and understanding his circumstances, but appreciate the neighbors.
Certainly, which was why
'Cause
the
they
question.
don't get to move. They
Right.
don't live in Chicago or Illinois. They're here.
Okay.
And so
What is the status of the involuntary liens? Those getting cleared up?
Yeah, I think that, I don't know what involuntary liens are. 150,000, that's over with. Attorney General stuff is over with.
Excuse
they-
me, when you say over with, do you mean you've cleared
I
those?
cleared those. So, I mean, cause I got a divorce, right? So my ex-wife was asking for child support of an 18-year-old kid. So I decided to spare her. So that's all that stuff's gone.
So have they released those liens? If they have, you need to get them filed so they don't show on your title.
Yeah, I got a copy of, the release of lien from Attorney General and release of lien from the 150,000 and the 50,000 and
Is that your ex-wife?
uh-huh.
Okay. All right. And then you can deal with the homeowners association, not me.
Yeah, well,
If there are involuntary liens, make sure that we get the releases so that one, I don't want to get in your business.
okay, that's no
Okay.
problem. And, a homeowner association, their attorney, I paid him.
Okay.
So,
And let me explain to you why it's important for us, because if we go and have to demolish this house or remove the house, those lien holders are gonna take the money from the foreclosure before we ever get any. And so we have to make an evaluation on behalf of the city, whether it's worth our while to do that or what the expectation is. We're gonna do what to clean up the neighborhood, but if we may approach that from some different. And so that's why it's important. It tells us that if there is equity in this house, you're going to protect your equity, you're going to protect your investment. If all these other people have claims to your property, people are less inclined to clean it up. And that's not an indictment to you, that's just our experience.
oh, okay.
So I apologize if any of this is embarrassing. It's not for that purpose. It's purpose
Oh.
to evaluate whether you have a motive to fix it or not.
I got motive. I mean, I don't have any liens at this moment, so. that I know about, because like I said, everything there's on there, I paid it out.
And when you paid it out, you got a signed release, correct?
Yeah, I got a signed release.
From each one of these.
Yep.
You
Okay.
do need to file those in deed records, so if you fix the property up or seek to sell it, you ain't gonna be able to get your money out of it if there's
Oh.
quote liens on there, because the bank or the mortgage company won't release, or the lien holders have to have the release before the funds will be released to you. So you want to get those filed.
Yeah, I can get the release. I got a release from the Office of Attorney General, so I can file that with the,
In the deed records of Dallas County.
yeah, I'll file it with the deed record of Dallas County, no problem.
If you want, yeah, if you care to, you can file a copy with us and so that we know that's been taken care of. And
Okay.
then do you, were the other charges from your ex-wife, have they been taken care of as well? And is she giving you, I assume she's filed something because it showed up, a judgment or something, because it showed up in the deed records. You probably need to get your lawyer to make sure that there's a statement or some sworn statement from your wife that those have been cleaned up too, so you can get those removed. So
Okay,
that, I won't charge you for those.
appreciate it.
Are there any other questions from the commission or anyone? Is there anything more you would like to testify?
No, I just, appreciate the time, and, it's been a hard ordeal, and we'll work on it and get it done. That's pretty much all I have to
Okay,
say.
thank you.
Yep.
Sir, I don't believe you've been sworn in, the one you had your hand.
I just wondered if I could ask a question, Mr. Cardi, just to clarify something.
No, you really can't.
Okay.
But if you want to, anyhow, let's see, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, Mr. Roberts, would you please come forward? Yes, sir.
So first, I want to acknowledge what a difficult journey it is, traveling out of state, trying to take care of a house, all the bureaucracies having to deal with. I want to acknowledge that that's a tough deal, right? I'm a 35-year resident of Coppell. I live right next door. So I'd like you to go to a slide for me. The slide looking this way into the house, because what I want to point out is that, come one more. There you go. So what I want to point out is that it's not just the heater flue, it's every window is not sealed. So when you look at what we would call key performance indicators that you're asking for 30 days, I'd like to make sure that we get the building sealed up, because it is rodent infested and it's getting cold. And my pest management in my house goes up significantly because I have a significant number of little rodents that are coming in, and you can track them from my house running down my fence from the house next door. And the house on the other side deals with the rodents as well. So I think this is important to point out and call out. And then if you go to your timeline, right? And I think you would say that would be the third bullet point under 30 days. The premise and exterior is complete and maintained. Is that where that would fall into place? Okay, so is there yeah, I am. And then I'm also asking, I'm not part of this environment, so I appreciate your patience with my lack of knowledge of what's going on. But I would say that just like in any business, if we've got a KPI there, what's the consequence, right? We're 30 days in and we still have nothing moved. What is that consequence? Are we going to go to 60 days? And then what is that yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because we have been calling everyone that we know to call to ask for help for the last 2.5 years. And we haven't hit the right trigger. And we triggered today to be in front of you to get that help. Right? And so now we're here as neighbors and we want the best for Keenan and we want the best for Coppell because it's our community. We really need the help, right? But it can't be
that-
chin music. It's
that-
got to be documented.
That's
What are we
why-
going to do?
All right, on February the 6th, since you've asked, if there's been no compliance with this order on the 30 days and that property's not sealed up and the roof hadn't been done, I'm gonna ask them to order it demolished.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want the worst. But in failure of an outcome, we will continue to postpone.
If it's gotten to this point, we take this seriously. We've gotten 2 properties cleaned up under similar orders. It's real now.
Good. I'm not sure that we pushed the right buttons over the last 2 years, but the swarm of communication amongst all the neighbors has been there. So I'm glad to know what these buttons, what is the trigger now? And now that I understand, I would appreciate it if you could put that in the notes and so that we all understand completely. And then we can have confidence that we're going to take care of
And
this.
if there's rodent infestation, we would ask that try to be abated. I mean, I can't tell the rats what to do. All I can do is shoot them or poison them.
I have a flute and
Or
I'll
I can
bet
get
you, I'm with you. I
Yeah.
understand, right? I'm in the restaurant business. I understand controlling rodents is very difficult.
But once they're here, they're hard to get rid of.
Exactly. And especially when
It'd
you see
been
the-
better if they hadn't showed up, but they have. So,
It is what it is, right?
yeah, but we
So-
want to try to help you as much as possible.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really what I want to just first thank everybody for coming and spending the time today to get this fixed. To understand what the product is.
So
What's the problem?
just for clarification, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just for clarification, because I'm going back to what you just said, you'd like to see it called out specifically in this plan. One thing is to have the exterior sealed.
Yes.
We can call that out specifically in the plan.
Yeah.
What else did you want called out specifically in the plan? The consequences?
Yes, absolutely. We all have to agree, right? Because we just can't do this another winter. Because they come into my house and it's like unnecessary expense, right? That we've got to deal
Yeah,
with.
it's like living behind a restaurant.
It's like living behind a restaurant that's not being taken care of. Okay, so that's the 2 things. That's really what I wanted to say. I wanted to make sure that everybody understands how much I appreciate this guy because his challenge that he's got ahead of him. That being said, it's not excusable to get to here. Okay, so if you had to do an amendment to this and say, this is what we agreed to, that'd be fine too. This has already been accepted, right?
No,
But
it hadn't been accepted yet until
Oh.
Not
until they
yet.
vote on it. So
Great.
this
That's why
is,
we're here.
this is a recommendation. That's why we wanted to hear from the neighbors and we
Sure.
wanted to hear from you all. So if there's things that we can reasonably add to the timeline, we
Yeah.
want to do them.
did I use? that
Because you
pretty
have
good?
to
You're not
live,
limited.
Okay,
you have to live next to it. And I want Mr.
sure.
McCarty to understand, and I want you to understand that the end game is to get the house back to a condition that was prior
Absolutely.
to the fire.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Bob, give me a second. I want to just check with Patrick, my neighbor, and just make sure I didn't
All right.
miss him.
He wants to find out now.
I mean, we can swear him in.
No, that.
I just had one question for Mr. McCarthy, so.
Yeah.
swear me in.
So the one point out is, it's gonna be winter time, right? And so the pool with the black water in the bottom as of now, it's probably not gonna grow any bugs, but it's definitely a hazard. It's a hazard because if a kid gets in that backyard and the gates are faulty, you're gonna have a drowning victim. So there are things that, it's not just about the picture, it's about the holistic view of this house.
Yeah, and one of the things that, even in the condition that the pool is in now, I know enough about pool building, have represented a pool builder for 30 years, that if there's no water in that pool and it rains enough, that pool will pop out of the ground and then it has to be torn out. 'Cause
Yeah, but
then it's structurally
Whose
damaged.
problem is that if a kid falls in and he drowns?
Mr.
mean-
Mc- It's Mr. McCarty's.
So we need to get it fixed.
Not, we
One
don't
way or the
want
other.
anything bad to happen to anybody.
No, we
so
don't.
We'll make sure that the gates works
Yes,
and then it be locked.
yes.
So we can add that.
We
there.
share the same thing.
Yeah.
We just want everybody to be safe.
Yeah, no.
Thank
I
you so much
understand.
for letting me talk to you.
Okay,
Forgive me if I was a little crazy, but that's the way I am.
all right.
And I wish you the
I'm a
great
little
rest of the
crazy
night.
too, so it's okay.
We all have a little crazy. Let the record reflect.
Let the record reflect. Thank you.
Can I make a comment on that? Just give me just a
Sure.
second, sir. You had mentioned that it's taken some time to get to this point. I do want to go back to a slide to kind of show you. So over the course of time, he has been pulling permits. Typically, those permits stay open for about 6 months. When there's an active permit, us as co-compliance officers, we have to allow them time to fix those items. And I know that is frustrating, but at this point, obviously he's pulled out several permits. They expired as shown in the red. So I just wanted to make that point that we have been watching this property for some time and keeping an eye on it as far as making sure he's moving forward with those repairs. And that's why we're here tonight.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up because as a community, I know that this is not my house and it's not my conversation stream, but we have all been, as neighbors, been bringing this to everyone's attention, but there's no communication back. So we don't know, right? I'm not in that business. So it seems to me there's a breakdown in communication somewhere. If we don't know and we're having to fight all these different battles,
Yeah, hopefully this won't happen again, but if you do, you can call Mr. Schubert's office and say, I live next door to a project. Do they have an active permit? They are public records. I don't know that all those are accessible by the public on the website, but you can call the office.
sure.
So now that you know, so when you see this, next week you can call and say, has Mr. McCarty pulled a permit?
It'll be the wives,
All right, I understand.
but I appreciate it.
And after this meeting, I'm happy to give you my email and phone number.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, would you like to be sworn in? So we're going to need your name and your address.
403 Greenway Court.
Sir, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and do you affirm that everything you will testify to this evening is the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
So yeah, I just wanted one clarification from Keenan. I think I heard you say, Keenan, that the insurance company had paid some 300,000 and it was sitting with your lender. Is that correct? That's correct. Okay, could that money be used today to fix the roof and fix the windows?
Yes, but what we're saying is the roof part of it is, I would have to be out of pocket.
I hear that, but the 300,000 could still be used to get started with construction, which would start with the roof and start with the windows.
Right, so what we're gonna do is, I've already talked to the lender, is, get started, they're gonna apply for permit, and then we're just gonna have to go to court and sue insurance.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Mr. Patrick? Mr. Patrick,
Yes.
could you please spell your last name for the record?
Bolton.
Thank you.
Mr. McCarty, I have a follow-up question. Is it your intention that any work that you have to sue the insurance company for will be on hold until a lawsuit is resolved?
No.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? I can swear more people in. Thank you so much.
Madam Chairman, if you would, if no one else wants to speak, you can by declaration close the public hearing and then discuss amongst yourselves, or if you choose to, you could retire in private and talk amongst the 5 of you if you chose to.
I think we should do that. So I'm going to draw the public portion of this meeting to a close. It's adjourned and it's 7 o'clock. Thank you very much.
And we'll have to come back out and do any decision has to be done in public, but they can go back and deliberate
Yeah,
and like a jury. And that means the 5 of you with no one else. If you have questions, you can either write it out or if you have a legal question, you can call me in and I'll answer it for you and then leave.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'd like to go back and discuss it amongst ourselves. I think we want to talk
Yeah.
about,
Does anyone have anything in writing or any documents? Mr. McCarty, do you have anything that you would want to give us at this point? I would recommend to you, if we have if the commission sets the show cause hearing, whether it's on the 6th or some other date, which you can choose whatever date you want, excuse me. I would recommend that if there is a lawsuit or correspondence with your lender or the insurance company, that information be provided to us, and you can redact out of that any personal information like social security number, account number. I'm not interested in that, but just so you know, and you don't have to necessarily be present. I'm not telling you not to be present for the show cause hearing, but if you have that information, get it to us so that they can use that to formulate how we proceed.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
All that to you.
Okay.
okay, we're going to adjourn to the back for a work session between the 5 of us to talk about this. Thank you. We have finished our discussion and deliberations. Mr. McClarty, we have a concern as to seeing actual proof of your motivation to comply with a plan. Is it your intention to move back into the house or to make the house such that you'll sell it? What are your intentions with this home? And is your state of residence Illinois or is Texas? Okay, I thought I heard you say earlier, you, you. Okay, okay. Do you live close to Coppell? Westlake, okay, very good. Okay, so I want you to know, we're very serious about this. And at this show cause hearing, if we don't see that these requirements, as I'm going to read them and take the recommendation, and I've got amendments to those. If those are not completed, sir, this property, we may move forward with demolition at that date, just so we're clear, okay? I mean, we're not unsympathetic, but I think enough time has passed and the neighbors have been as patient as anyone can be. Okay, thank you. So Desiree, what I'd like to do is ask for a motion from the commission here to accept your recommendation with the following amendments. Within the 30 days, we'd like to see proof of rodent control. We'd like to see proof of all the seal off the exterior holes, windows, and doors to prevent pest infestation. Secure the fence gate and provide the city with a key to the lock so that the city has access as necessary. And we'd like to see proof that the pool is cleaned. All of that will be, those amendments will be within the first 30 days, within 30 days from the date this order is signed. Yes, sir. It needs to be drained. It's got water in it now. In those photos, it has water in it. I know it's not like it was in the first photo we saw, but in the current photo, there is standing water, and it's black. So could I hear a motion to accept the recommendation with the amendments as read?
I make a motion
To,
to accept as read and amended.
A second.
okay. All those in favor, say yay.
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 All opposed, nay? Okay, I don't hear anyone opposing, and it carried unanimously. We'll accept the recommendation as amended, as described just now. And that'll be that.
Madam Chairman, as a result of that, I will craft the order from the Building and Standards Commission to reflect the motion that was made and the recommendation as amended, and provide that to the owner. And once it's signed, it's a matter of public record, so it'll be available for anyone else to obtain a copy.
So when you say sealed, are you saying the windows?
Seal the windows, the dryer vents, wherever is open, the roof, the hole in the roof needs to be fixed. Any access the rodents or any people would have into that structure needs to be sealed off. That's windows, that's that. Desiree, if you could go to that picture that shows that real bad window with the, yeah.
The one
That one.
Look at that.
It needs to be sealed on the outside.
Yeah, it's ripped away. That needs to be fixed. All of that needs to be sealed off. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell you how to do it, but that's the expectation. Okay. All right, that motion carries, has carried. And hearing no other, is there any other business before the big commission? No. Okay, then I hereby adjourn the meeting this evening.
At 7:40.
At 7:40, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.